Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome on in to the final show with Mr. Andrew Lessman for today, and the final chance to get secure meal replacement at the lowest price of the year. Our pricing expires at midnight. What a day it has been. We have had so many thousands of people say, okay, I'm gonna hit the restart button. I'm gonna hit the reset button. New Year's resolutions, we're gonna stick to it. We're gonna do it. And we can absolutely hit those weight loss goals with a product that is a proven winner. Over 3,200 five-star reviews. Let me say that again. Over 3,200 five-star reviews on the world's most balanced, complete, nutritious, and delicious meal replacement. It's called Secure. You got 4 flavors to choose from. There's a chocolate, a beautiful vanilla, a coffee, and my favorite, the pina colada, that makes it feel like you're on vacation. These are meal replacements that are around 63 calories per serving, which is crazy. It's also non-GMO, and you could do any way you want with it. You could add water or 2% or juice or any of the milks now, the almond milks, the coconut milks. You can really prepare it in any way which you like. The one thing that we know after reading so many reviews are that the results are real and the results are there. If you're looking to lose a little or a lot, this is the way to get that job done. I want to go through the pricing and the value because I think this is really what has struck such a chord with everybody today. You can choose a 20, 60, 100, 200, 300, or 400 meal set. When you look at this, couple things you need to know. If you choose the 200 or 300 meal kit, you can mix and match the flavors. You might do 100 of vanilla, 100 of chocolate, for example. If you choose the 400 meal kit, you get 100 of each flavor. The savings are through the roof. The most popular size today has been the 300 meal kit. You're looking at around 60 cents a meal, which is crazy. In the largest size, the 400, around 50 cents a meal. So huge opportunity to get something that works at the best value of the year. Joining us live right now, Mr. Andrew Lessman is in Santa Monica. Andrew, you and I started the day together, and now we get to end it together. How are you?
I'm good, aside from being stuck in traffic. So I will be live on camera in just a little bit. So I'm live on the telephone for a few moments now.
Okay, this is exciting. Have you arrived at your destination?
I have arrived at my destination, and it's a matter of me just putting my microphone on and getting what little technology I have here wired, and you'll be seeing me in a couple of moments. If you'll be patient.
That's that famous California traffic. No worries at all. Well, just as Andrew's getting set and getting prepared, we would love for you to jump on in and get yours. It's hard to stick to a diet that you don't love and enjoy. If you've ever tried meal replacements in the past, you know there's a lot of pain points. Some of them are chalky. Some of them leave just a nasty taste, an aftertaste in your mouth. This is such a delicious meal replacement that you'll keep going with it. And as something Andrew has shared with us throughout this whole journey is that taste is king. And Andrew, you spent a lot of time making sure that the flavor really was as best as it could possibly be.
Well, flavor, I learned, is everything. That no matter how much you think that technically and scientifically, speaking for myself now, that I had created the best meal replacement in the world 30 years ago, I quickly learned that if I didn't focus on flavor, which is something I didn't focus on at all, I was going to be unsuccessful. And I had a meal replacement that was rated 2 stars. If you look at the rating now, it's about 4.2 or 4.3 stars, which took hundreds, if not 1,000 or so 5-star reviews, and are focusing on flavor for a number of years to turn it around. And what we basically did is we decided that, or I decided that this meal replacement had to taste as good as those fast food shakes that have no redeeming characteristics other than their flavor. They're 500 or 600 calories. They cost several dollars, so they cost 5 times more than this costs. And the only thing they have going for them is their remarkable and their delicious flavor. So that was the blueprint. That is what we decided, that we needed to make a meal replacement that has the same flavor as those delicious fast food shakes, and they are delicious. And we succeeded. It was simply a matter of investing the time and investing the capital necessary to do it. And when you taste these now, they are just as good as any of those amazing meal replacements. And those fast food restaurants, they have incredible meal replacements. They're delicious, and that's the only reason we enjoy them, is because they taste so good. But so is Secure. We use the exact same flavor approach that they use to achieve a product that, instead of just being great tasting and tons of calories and tons of fat and carb and sugar, ours is great tasting, low in fat, low in sugar and carbs, rich in vitamins and minerals, and rich in the most important protein to help you lose weight. So an entirely different approach in terms of, technically speaking, but the same approach in terms of flavor.
Well, Andrew, the thing as well, when you try this for the first time, I think it does kind of take you back a moment. You described the chocolate as being like a melted chocolate ice cream, the pina colada, which is just gorgeous. In fact, I would challenge anybody to taste what I just made and even guess that it is a meal replacement, because it just tastes so good. So every day, it's not so much a chore when you go to get your Secure. It's something you look forward to. And something I look forward to is the magic of television. Andrew was on the phone, but I believe in a few moments he will be joining us live through, of course, Skype, of course, in Santa Monica, beautiful Santa Monica. But it's true, with meal replacement, it dissolves quickly, it dissolves easily, there's no bitter aftertaste, there's no nasty aftertaste, and it's delicious. Remember, 63 calories there or thereabouts. It's the lowest calorie, but full and comprehensive, with the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that your body craves. Maybe it's breakfast. Maybe you are the classic person like I was, where you miss breakfast, you skip breakfast, right? Instead of skipping it, or maybe instead of getting something like a sugary cereal, just replace that with this, and you're gonna start to see the difference and the benefits in days. I'm thrilled that Andrew mentioned the 3,200 reviews, because some of those reviews, they're emotional, the heartbreaking, the heartwarming. People that have tried everything and then try Andrew's Secure and at last find the almighty kind of difference maker. This is the one that can really change things around. So many of us, I know it's only the 10th of January, so many of us have already fallen off the wagon. Those New Year's resolutions are well in the rearview mirror. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. The most popular size right now is that 200 and 300 meal kit. Please know that if you're choosing the larger sizes, we are also gonna send you a wonderful amount of sucrase, which is the world's best all-natural sweetener, which is no calories at all. So you're getting Andrew's sucrase, and Choco Nouveau, which is gourmet chocolate that Andrew and his team make, that is helping to lower cholesterol, but is so creamy and gorgeous and delicious. So if you want to go for the 200 or 300, here's how it breaks down. The 200 meal kit, when we hit midnight tonight, it's gonna be $265. If you order it before midnight, it's $129 and change. You're saving more than you're spending. Most popular choice right now is the 300 meal kit. If you order it at a minute past midnight, it's nearly $400. If you order it right now, it's $179.90. That's saving you substantially more than you're spending. They're all on FlexPay, they're all free shipping and handling as well. We're looking at about 60 cents a meal. Andrew, when you talk 60 cents a meal and you compare that to other meal replacements that are out there, or you go to that juice shop or the smoothie store and you're buying them, they can be a fortune.
Oh, they're multiple times the cost. If you simply look at a fast food shake, which is the most affordable, they're generally around $3. So that's going to be 5 times more. It's not going to contain the vitamins, minerals. Certainly, we don't have all the fat, sugar, sodium, and carbs and all the things that they have that we don't want to have. But again, it's going to be 5 times more. One of those fancy coffee drinks, 10 times more. A smoothie or a green drink can be 20 times more. So it's the one question everybody should be asking if they're looking at this carefully is how do we do this so affordably? And the answer is because we manufactured ourselves. You're getting this manufacture direct. So we make this product. We've made this product for over 30 years. As I explained, when we started off, I thought I should be proud of the meal replacement I created because it was technically a very sound sound product. But I learned, because probably unlike other companies, I pay really careful attention to your feedback, because your feedback is what enables me to make great products, because the only judge of those products is you. I don't make them, even though I use them, I'm not making them for just me. I'm making them to make sure that they work for you. So when I made a great technical meal replacement and I didn't invest in flavor, I quickly learned that I was making a product that you would use once or twice. You wouldn't be inspired by it. You wouldn't get results that would inspire you. So I had to invest in flavor. And then I was clever enough to figure that, okay, I'm going to focus on flavor. Then I'm going to be focusing on the folks who are best at flavor. And it was those fast food beverages, those shakes you get at all those fast food restaurants. They're a few dollars each. They're multiple times more expensive than this, but they are great tasting. Now, I still remember many years ago, I used to love to get a little thing of French fries in one of those shakes. I don't do that anymore, but those shakes, their only redeeming quality is their flavor. Everything about them, everything else about them is horribly unhealthy. They're 500 or 600 calories. You could have 10 of these for the same amount of calories. They cost multiple times more than this. They don't have the vitamins or minerals or the quality protein that this contains. So it's really an entirely different world that we're offering here. And what we're doing with the meal replacement, again, it's not my magic answer to weight loss or weight management. It is science's magic answer. When you look at the science, when you look at the clinical research on what's going to enable us to manage our weight better, to deal with this epidemic of weight gain and obesity, it's meal replacement. That's the most compelling science, the most reliable science, the most effective science is meal replacement. And what makes a great meal replacement? It has to be nutritious, delivering the vitamins, the minerals, the protein you need. It should be low in carbohydrate and sugar. It should be low in fat. It should also deliver what you need in terms of being satisfying, but it needs to be low in calories. So we took all of those attributes, and I think we created, just following the science, the perfect meal replacement. And if this last year has been as challenging for you as it has been for me, then probably it's a good opportunity to be able to focus on your nutrient intake, on your caloric intake, and perhaps make a dent in what you've done over the last 6 months to a year.
It's exciting, and we talked a lot last night during the launch about the crazy fads, and there's always a new kid on the block. There's always a new diet in town, right? This is not that. This isn't the crazy new thing. This is the tried and true proven winner that over so many years has helped so many hundreds of thousands of people get to their targeted weight, lose that weight, feel healthier and better with that sense of well-being. I'm really conscious of the fact that this presentation is a little different to the midnight presentation I had with Andrew, because at midnight we had all the time in the world, the day had just begun, but at this moment it's about to end. So these are the final chances to get Secure for the year 2021 at the lowest prices. In fact, come midnight, the prices go up substantially. Even when Andrew presents Secure throughout the year, we're not offering those larger sizes, and those larger sizes really are beneficial. The economies of scale, I mean, if you look at the 300 meals, that's nearly a year's worth supply. If you're doing one per day, 400 meals is obviously more than that. So really substantial savings, 50 to 60 cents a meal, we believe is absolutely unbeatable for the quality, the fact that it's non-GMO, the fact that it's rich in the nutrients and vitamins and minerals that your body really needs. You're giving yourself everything you want. Again, Andrew and I could spend the whole conversation on taste. We know you're gonna love it. There's not one person I believe that will taste this and go, oh my gosh, that's not great. There's not a bad one in the bunch. Every flavor is gorgeous, and I say that sincerely. So you talk about flavor because the flavor is king. It's the reason we'll go back and drink it again and again and again and start to lose those pounds and that weight day after day after day. The results are amazing. Feeling better. Andrew, as you have always talked about, it is about general well-being, overall health. And that's what happens if we get down to our targeted weight, right?
Yeah, what's interesting is often when you see advertising and promotion for weight loss or weight management, they focus on one's appearance. What I've always focused on has been the health consequences of not being at our ideal weight, the health consequences of obesity. And we all know what they are. It affects our ability to manage our blood sugar, our ability to manage our blood pressure. It affects the health of our heart, it affects the health of our brain. So being able to manage our body composition and having a tool that helps us do that helps us in all the major indicators of health risks. So it's really an incredible opportunity to make a difference. And as I said, and I'll read some charts in a moment, that the clearest science, the most unequivocal science when it comes to weight loss, yes, of course, we have to change what we eat, we have to change what we do in terms of activity, but the most reliable way to change what we eat is using a meal replacement. Mine is going to be the most affordable, it's going to be the best tasting. I'll show you how easily it mixes in a moment here, but I just want to also show how much nutrition it contains. And typically when you use this product, you replace 1 or 2 meals a day. But if you look at this, you're looking at 70% of the RDA of vitamin C, 50% of the RDA of vitamin D. You're looking at 70% and 70% of vitamin E, B1, B2, niacin 60%, 100% of vitamin B5, which is critical for fat burning, vitamin B6, 60%, 500% for all-important B12, and it's our special protected methyl B12, 500% of biotin, which is the beauty vitamin. So again, when you look at B12 and biotin, that's 5 times the levels you'll find at a typical multivitamin. And then, of course, folic acid, calcium, magnesium, the levels of calcium, magnesium that are basically equivalent of a capsule of my calcium, magnesium intensive care, selenium and chromium. So, and then you add the protein that we use, which is the most effective protein in terms of weight loss, weight management, and that's soy protein. We make a version of Secure using whey protein, but it is not as effective, not as reliable in my mind, and in terms of the science, in terms of weight loss, as it is using our non-GMO soy protein. And that's specifically why this formula was designed this way. And when I introduced it over 30 years ago, it was technically, say, as good today. It was as good then as it is today, but we didn't emphasize the flavor, just like everyone else. The typical meal replacement tastes terrible. My meal replacement, you will get at home. And as I was saying earlier, if you open up the meal replacement, you don't even have to look at what the label is. You know what it is when you smell it. And without looking at this, I know this is vanilla. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I did this earlier with the chocolate. It was kind of fascinating to show, we make it so it's super soluble. And when it's super soluble, it means it's going to be smoother. So what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to empty about, it's probably going to end up being, that's probably around 25, 30 meals. And this is crazy to even try doing this, and there's probably only a room for probably about, I'd say, maybe 6 or 8 ounces of water. But what you'll see is despite the use of only 6 or 8 ounces, I should get this out of the way, despite the use of so little water, this is all going to go into solution. It's amazing, but it does. And so again, it ends up being like, it looks like cake dough, is exactly what it looks like, but it all goes into solution.
That's remarkable.
And as I did earlier today, what you could see, and I'll be able to show you this again later, is you could see that it goes into solution. So that was probably 25 meals in about 6 or 8 ounces of water. And I hope what it showed is without a blender, and that's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 175 grams of protein. Imagine putting that much protein powder in a small amount of water. It would just be a mess. But you don't see any powder remaining. And that's because of all of the way we go about making sure that everything is properly granulated, agglomerated, so that it's going to be super soluble. Because that super solubility, it's all about absorbing the nutrients, yes, but super solubility is all about texture and mouthfeel as well. So if you invest in the components to make this taste delicious, the richest flavors in the world, that texture and mouthfeel has to be perfect or the flavors are going to be unpleasant. So we left no stone unturned when it came to designing this product. And to think, I mean, I even marvel that I emptied the entire container of meal replacement. And hopefully, well, let's see, there we go. Hopefully you see that, and again, it looks like in that glass there's probably about 12 ounces there, but it isn't 12 ounces. That glass, I only poured about 6 or 8 ounces of water in there. That's just all of the volume of the powder that just so willingly takes up the liquid. So hopefully you understand now when I say when I travel, I could mix this serving of this in a glass with my finger.
Right.
It's not like any other protein mix you've ever tried or any other meal replacement you ever tried. And the flavor is so rich that it requires that we make the investment in flavor because the texture is so perfect.
And for anybody just tuning in thinking, what happened there? You must understand what Andrew just did. Normally, when you and I would have a serving, we'd use 1 scoop, right? 1 scoop goes in, we add our water, juice, almond milk, 2%, whatever you want to add. What Andrew just did was he added about 20 scoops at least. So he was proving and showing that this really dissolves quickly and effortlessly and easily without even the need of a blender, which is something that cannot be said for most meal replacements out there. I think it's a fair statement to say for anybody who's watching television tonight, if you have ever tried a meal replacement, they don't typically taste very good at all. In fact, you kind of gulp it down. It's like, oh, when's this going to be over? That is not the case with this. The chocolate it's like a chocolate milkshake, just like Andrew said. The pina colada, I would challenge you to even know it's a meal replacement. The vanilla is such a wonderful, versatile flavor that you'll see from some of the reviews that we read that people add and pair with so many different things. And the coffee, oh my gosh, it's like you're in the coffee shop. It's amazing. We have about 19 or 20 minutes left, a much shorter presentation because we're at the end of the day. We are obviously now thousands and thousands sold, so we're starting to get a little bit slim on some of the availability. We do have a clear winner at this stage, and it is a 300 meal kit. If you select the 300 meal kit, you can choose where you want to mix your flavors. Maybe you want to do all 3 in chocolate, or maybe you want to do 100 vanilla, 100 pina colada, 100 coffee. You get to mix and match and pair it. If you do the 300 and then you say, well, I really want to stick to this. I want to keep this going for a long time. I want to take advantage of the savings. We're offering a bonus buy where you get $10 off additional purchases of the same larger size. So please bear that in mind. If you are going for the 300, just to kind of break it down a little bit more, I want to show you this second price chart that we have. This shows you what you would normally spend, what you will spend tomorrow if you come back to order the 300 meal kit, if it was even available. It would be $344.70. $344.70, okay? We're at $179.90, but then you look in the others that we're adding. We're adding 30 pieces of Choco Nouveau, the world's most delicious chocolate that helps to lower cholesterol. We're adding 60 packets of Sucrese, the best no-calorie sweetener in the world, all natural. That's about $18. So your total price is bordering on $400. If you order it now, you get it for $179.90, which again looks at around 60 cents or so per meal. Andrew, it's affordable. And in these times that we're in, economically challenging for sure, getting a meal replacement for around 60 cents a serving, that's pretty impressive.
Well, and the price chart you showed, you'd still be able to get the normal large size is 100 meals, but you would be buying 100 meals at a little over $1 a meal, $114.90 each. That's how you get to the $344.70 for the 3, and then you have the Choco Nouveau, you have the Sucrese. But what I just wanted to do, it's funny, I tasted, this is in fact 20 meals. That was from a 20 meal bottle. That's 20 meals that I mixed in about 6 or 8 ounces of water. It tastes like the richest angel food cake batter that I've ever. It reminds me of my grandma's angel food cake she used to make. But it's just, and I'll show this in an hour, it will still be in solution, even though it's protein and vitamins and minerals. And think of the levels of 20 meals of vitamins and minerals that are in here. It still stays perfectly in solution. It's incredibly delicious. So whether it's chocolate, vanilla, coffee, pina colada, it's going to be super soluble. It's going to be delicious. It's going to mix readily. As I freely admitted earlier, when I made my first meal replacement over 30 years ago, I heard the criticism. I heard that the product, yes, it might contain all the vitamins and minerals we want. It might have the best protein it could have. It might be low in sodium and all the things that I did appropriately, and low in fat, and no trans fats and no cholesterol. But I didn't focus on flavor. So when I said it was vanilla flavor or chocolate flavor, it was like all those typical meal replacements. where you could hardly really even recognize the flavor. With mine, as I said before, you open the container, and as I said earlier today, you could be 6 feet away from the container when someone opens it. You could be socially distant from it. You will still smell, whether it's chocolate, vanilla, coffee, or pina colada. You will be able to recognize it. That's our investment in flavor. And as I said, it's not like I'm some miraculous inventor of the best flavors in the world. Those already existed. And those incredibly great flavors, we see them in those wonderful fast food shakes or milkshakes, or you see them in ice creams or things like that. So we went to the folks who are responsible for designing those incredible flavor systems, and we simply applied those flavor systems where they never get applied. No one ever makes the investment to apply those flavor systems in the world of meal replacements. But me, I sort of am a little bit obsessive over the quality of my products, so a little might be an understatement. So I wasn't satisfied to just have a technically sound meal replacement. I truly wanted it to be the best tasting in the world. And when you get these home, you will understand that I'm not kidding, that I wasn't kidding. And we'll read some reviews, because the reviews really speak volumes in terms of how uniquely assembled this product is, that it's not just great science, and the science on meal replacements is the best science in weight loss. It's not just great science, it's also truly, truly delicious and affordable.
It's non-GMO, and it is following the science. I think for so many of us, we are so skeptical because we've tried so many things in the past. And A, we either didn't like the way it tasted, or B, we didn't see what we wanted to see. We didn't see results. We didn't see them quickly enough. We didn't see them sustained. Remember, when you buy from HSN, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's the first thing. I want you to get this home knowing you can try it, taste it, try the chocolate. If you don't think it's the best chocolate shake you've ever had, you send it back. You get your money back, of course, but you have to try something. Bear in mind that on HSN, the typical product has around 10 to 20 customer reviews. This product has 3,200 perfect reviews out of an astonishing 5,000 reviews, and even the other reviews are still overwhelmingly 4 stars and beyond. So you really are getting something that is well received, well reviewed, and certainly with success attached to it. And Andrew, that's maybe the biggest voice here, is everybody else's voice that has come before and has tried this tried and true proven winner.
And when you look at reviews, when you talk about flavor and things like that, it's really hard to satisfy everyone. So even a flavor-based product that might have 3 stars, an average of 3 stars, might be quite good. When you're talking about a meal replacement that's a little over 60 calories, and yes, it started at 2 stars when I didn't invest in flavor, but now it averages 4.2 stars. About 2/3 of the reviews are perfect 5 stars. When you count the 4-star reviews, which are, so if you have perfect, very good, and good reviews, when you count 3- and 4-star reviews, you start getting close to 90% of the reviews. And yes, with flavor, you can't make everyone happy, but it's amazing with flavor in our meal replacement, we're coming very close to achieving that. So it truly is unique in terms of reviews. As I had this little list here, if you look at the reviews, and you'll see when I read some, that almost half the reviews, just under half the reviews, referred to this product in terms of their feelings about it, in terms of loving it. Use the word love or love the product. Almost half the reviews said the product was great, or the flavor was great, or some attribute of the product was great. Almost 1,100 reviews out of the 5,000 talked about energy, improved energy. So it's an opportunity to make a difference. The word best was used, and even when I read these reviews, it seems like more. The word best was used 665 times, so apparently in more than 10% of the reviews. So just the one that surprises me is the most frequently used common word in the reviews is the word love. And we used to joke a long time ago with our multivitamin that the reviews of our products read like love letters. And I think probably that's more true with Secure than it is any other product. And I think because Secure is the one product that truly is flavor-based. And we either like a flavor or we don't like it. We love a flavor or we don't. And I think that's why it's the most common descriptor used for this product, or sentiment that's used for this product, is that they love it. And I think we have some reviews here, if we want to look at them quickly. And we don't add any of the capital letters or the exclamation points. Oh, that's a Cluster Care review. Well, that's a good thing. Why don't I find some Secure reviews? I think I have some here.
Well, I'll tell you what, while we find the secure ones, I'm going to make myself a chocolate shake because I'm in the mood for chocolate. I tell you, Andrew says you open it up and it smells like you just want to dive into it. Okay, I got 1 scoop, all right? I recommended serving 1 scoop. I'm going to pour it in right there, empty it in. I'm going to take water. You could add 2%, you could do juice, you could do almond milk, you could do coconut milk, any of the milks you're going to add, okay? We've already proven tonight how quickly it dissolves. Andrew put about 20 scoops in his. I did just the regular one. But then as I simply stir it, you are going to see this just come to life to be the creamiest, most delicious, gorgeous melted chocolate ice cream flavor that you could ever imagine. And just real fast, one last thing occurred to me. You know, I remember being here at this time last year. I remember the Secure Today special last year. And I can't believe that was a year ago. And it's so funny, time waits for no man. Another year, another year, another year. Maybe last year you wanted to try and get that weight lost, but things just all got on top of us and it never happened. Time just doesn't wait for any of us. Make this the moment you say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take a chance on something that clearly is loved. Clearly a lot of folks say it's the best. These guys keep talking about the flavor. It must be good. And the results are there because it follows the science. I know you might have tried everything else, but you've got to try this. We have so many customers that have been with Andrew for years, decades on HSN and QVC. You might be brand new to us. Andrew Lessman is Home Shopping Network's biggest brand, most successful brand, most well-reviewed brand. Every product is a customer pick. Everything that Andrew does is the pursuit of perfection. If something isn't right, he changes it. He changes it. Every product follows the science. It's made in an all-solar powered facility in Henderson, Nevada, and what you get in return is a product backed by passion. And Andrew, everything you do is really for the love of creating the best out there, and it shows.
Yeah, I think it might have been Ralph Waldo Emerson who said there's always one best way to do everything, and that is our constant pursuit. Everyone at my company, we're just trying to make the very best product possible. And when you look at this meal replacement, for over 30 years, we've constantly improved it. And even we improved the flavors, I think, as recently as about 18 months ago, I think just before January of last year. And we only feature the Secure Meal Replacement once a year. It's a Today Special 1 time per year, so it's not going to be back as a Today Special, likely until this time next year. So if you're going to take 1 or 2 meals a day, it's easy to do the math and figure out what to get today, because the price does go up significantly. And when it is available throughout the year, and of course it's always available at hsn.com, but it's going to be at its normal price, not at the Today Special price. But if we could read some reviews. I think I have some reviews here now, finally. Secure reviews rather than Cholesterol reviews. That's what happens when I manage my own charts. So, addictive. This is a good addictive, and as I said, the most common word in our reviews, love. Love this product. I've had the chocolate and vanilla. This is the first time I've tried the pina colada, my new favorite, with low-fat milk. I ordered 30 servings of this one and also bought a vanilla. I just reordered at full price the 60 servings of pina colada. All of this, and it's the best on the market. Wow, what a treat. Best tasting meal replacement. Again, the second most popular word other than love, best. I've been using what I thought was the best tasting meal replacement for a while now. However, I take many of Andrew's vitamins and didn't realize until recently that he also had a meal replacement. I had a coupon and thought I would try it. I was wrong. I haven't been using the best tasting meal replacement. This is by far the best. It's so creamy and mixes so well with my almond milk. It reminds me of those chocolate milks I loved as a kid. And I think you might have some reviews there too, Adam, which you could always feel free to read them too. Hands down, again, the second most popular word, best meal replacement. And I'm a protein shake veteran. If it's out there, I've tried it. Andrew's is the best tasting. Texture, not chalky at all. It's smooth as silk. It's low in calories. I even use 2 scoops at times to double the protein. It works so well with some weight management programs. I highly recommend, as well as his vitamins and minerals cookbooks. I think the reason why some weight management programs is in brackets, it probably used the name of some trademarked weight management program. Again, the second most popular word to love, the best. And that's amid all the 5,000 reviews. The best meal replacement, this meal replacement is dynamite. It is very soluble and the taste is wonderful. I mix in the blender with baby spinach, blueberries, and matcha tea. I drink Secure in the morning and I'm satisfied until lunch. I'm tracking my calories, and the fact that this only has 63 per serving is a huge bonus. I would highly recommend, and again, the lower the calories, the better your opportunity to lose weight. So ours is the lowest calorie meal replacement. It's in the 60s. And that opportunity means you could mix things. You could mix non-fat milk. You could mix soy milk. You could add fruit, as I do at home with the vanilla. I'll add frozen raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, pineapple, things like that. Even almond butter, pecan butter, things like that is wonderful to be added to especially to the chocolate for me. So that low calorie level on its own is your opportunity to lose more weight. Also, it gives you the flexibility to mix it, and it still is lower in calories than other meal replacements, which typically are in the hundreds of calories, which isn't much of an opportunity to lose weight as a meal replacement when it's that high in calories.
Just think about breakfast. Maybe this is just the meal replacement for breakfast or even lunch. If it's just that, you'll be making a huge impact on what you do every day. Cutting the calories down to 63 or 64 calories is going to be amazing on something that you're going to enjoy, and that's something that will have a real impact on weight loss goals. Obviously, our time's running out. I wish it wasn't, but sadly, it is coming to a close. I want to go over that pricing again with you. Pricing expires at midnight tonight. 27,000 sold, 28,000 sold now, forgive me. A lot of people are interested. They want to try it. They want to give it a go. They want to start seeing the results. If you just want to give it a go, 20 meals is available, 60 or 100. Most people tonight are ordering the 200 or 300 meal kit. Why would I want to order the 200 or 300? Well, the savings, as you can see, start to jump quite significantly. This is the column showing you the savings. If you do a 300 meal kit, that's roughly a whole year if you're doing one meal per day, and at around 60 cents per day, that's unbeatable value. Normally $400, today it's $179.90, saving more than you're spending. That's impressive. If you do the 300 meal kit or the 200, you can mix and match. You might want to do all chocolate or do all vanilla, but you might do 100 of chocolate, 100 of vanilla, and 100 of pina colada. So Andrew's letting us choose and decide what's going to make us happy. And that's nice, because we can have variety if we want it, or if we're creatures of habit, we just stick to the same. I will tell you, Andrew, they just told me the most popular right now is the 300 count, and a lot of people are going all chocolate. And the chocolate is not a bad way to go. I'm a big fan of the chocolate.
And what's great about the 200 and 300, you basically can configure that however you choose. Amid the 4 flavors, it's each a 100 meal sack like this. It's about 4 pounds. So if you're doing a 300, you could have all one flavor or any mix of flavors. With the 400, the only way the 400 comes is where you get one of each: chocolate, vanilla, coffee, and pina colada. So the 200s and 300s are flexible to create whatever mix of flavors you'd like. The 400 only comes with each individual flavor. And we're only going to have a brief airing at the end of the second hour. And then, unfortunately, this goes away as a Today Special for at least a year. And when we do this, it's probably one of the most difficult Today Specials for us to do, because the tremendous variety of flavor, but also a daily supply of a vitamin is generally 1 capsule. A daily supply of this is, say, of 18 to 20 grams of material. So this 100 meals of this compared to 100 capsules of a daily supply, or say a 100-day supply, is a significant difference. So for us, it's the most complicated Today Special we do all year, but it's a great opportunity to save, because the efficiency, when you have something this complicated, the efficiency that comes from doing all of this at once allows us to offer incredible savings in January. And
I encourage you so much so, if you have a few moments spare before midnight, read the reviews, because that will give you the motivation and the inspiration and the confidence to give this a go. One of the reviews that I read, Andrew, talked about cutting corners, and the price was so competitive that maybe corners were cut, but there really isn't anything or anything at all. In fact, Andrew, last night you showed, I think, a breakdown of the vitamins and nutrients and minerals. When we say complete and comprehensive, it really is.
No, we cut no corners. I mean, this product is, it is the best tasting. It also gives you the lowest calorie and the flexibility and opportunities that lower calorie delivers. It gives you the best protein in terms of the research, clinical science on weight loss and weight management. When you look at the vitamins and minerals it contains, they're the vitamins and minerals in forms that you don't see in any other meal replacement. You don't see a form of B12 like we offer. You don't see levels of biotin as we offer. So there's nothing about this meal replacement that's anything other than superior to everything else. And then as I learned that the most important attribute of a meal replacement, because even a not so good meal replacement, if it tasted so good that you used it every day, can deliver some benefits. But a great meal replacement that was designed to taste great, that's where the great opportunities reside, because you need to use it or it doesn't work. It sounds pretty obvious, but if you're not replacing those meals, if you're not cutting those calories and delivering those calories in a better proportion, in a better, say, balance of calories, then you're not going to have an opportunity to modify your body composition. And again, I say this, I try to say this often, that a lot of us, when it comes to losing weight, being overweight or obese, it comes with some form of, whatever you want to call it, sort of self-shaming, feeling bad about that or embarrassed about that. If we're overweight or obese, I hate to say it, we're simply fulfilling our human destiny. We were kind of designed to be overweight or obese if we live in this modern world. The world our ancestors lived in was a world of scarcity. We didn't have the luxury, except when we found food, we ate as much as we can, because if we didn't, we ended up starving to death. So the world of scarcity that this body was designed for is not the world we live in any longer. So if you're overweight or obese, it's just the genetics we inherited from our ancestors. And a meal replacement is designed to utilize those genetics in our favor, to give you that sense of satisfaction, to give you that sense of being full, to deliver the calories you need, but not the calories in abundance that you don't need, which then challenges your ability to be able to maintain your health that comes with a healthy body composition. So again, the product is simply designed to take advantage of the way we're designed and allow you, and that's what the science says, allow you to comfortably lose weight without it being some horribly compromising diet that you feel deprived all the time. You will look forward to enjoying the meal replacement every time. Whatever flavor you choose, if you love them all, they're amazing. And you will look forward to your meal replacement, perhaps as much or more than the meal that it replaced.
You'll love it. We're excited for you to try it. Thank you so much for shopping with us. You can call us on the toll-free number or go to hsn.com. It's our secure meal replacement. It's our first today's special. There are actually 3 today's specials. We don't have a lot of time on the other 2, but we absolutely want to make a big point of showing them off to you. It's been 2 years since the CholestaCare was here, designed to help support heart health by reducing cholesterol levels. If you are looking to do that and you know your cholesterol levels are not really where they should be, this is a product that has, again, an extraordinary number of people giving it 5 stars. 700 perfect reviews. 2 years since it was a Today's Special. Pricing is really excellent. The best of the year, of course. This also will expire at midnight tonight. 100, 250, 500, or 1,000 at midnight tonight. This is where the pricing will be, right down here. If you order it right now, you get it for these prices. So saving is substantial. Andrew, all natural, not a drug, something that can really help make a difference, as is shown in some of these amazing reviews.
Well, CholestaCare is an ingredient that Mother Nature developed a long time ago. And it's an ingredient that now is recognized for its power to lower our total cholesterol and our LDL, our low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, which is the harmful cholesterol. That's the cholesterol that we want to lower. So we want to see our total cholesterol lower. We want to see our LDL cholesterol lower. And if you look at the 2 forms of cholesterol that this product attacks, that's exactly what it does. So it helps us to lower total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. In so doing, helps us to reduce our risk of heart disease. When I say that, it sounds like a statement that would be made about a cholesterol-lowering medication, like a statin drug. And in fact, it does. But what this product does, it works perfectly with those statin drugs. It has no side effects whatsoever. And it's not some Johnny-come-lately product that really hasn't science behind it. It has an abundance of clinical science. It's in fact, The National Cholesterol Education Program, NCEP, recommends plant sterols. It is the most potent of the natural tools we have to lower cholesterol, and there's an abundance of natural tools we could take advantage, but this is the most powerful. Whether you're looking at the American Heart Association, also recommends plant sterols. Virtually every academic or regulatory body recommends plant sterols as the first line of natural approach to lowering total and LDL cholesterol. What's great is they work perfectly with cholesterol-lowering drugs. So this is not something that's going to create side effects or somehow be contraindicated if you're taking a cholesterol-lowering drug. Not at all. If anything, it can enable you to reduce the cholesterol-lowering drug, perhaps even eliminate it, but just work closely with your doctor. Please share this product with your doctor, with your cardiologist. They'll be impressed. It's an opportunity to make a difference, and I'm sure they'll be very familiar with the ingredient and the efficacy, the potency of the ingredient. And in fact, I just have some charts here that have some of this science. Oh, now I have the charts on meal replacements, which is what I should have been looking at before. But here, let me grab this.
This is an exciting night tonight, Andrew. We're keeping you on your toes.
Well, when I'm here, normally I have all this wonderful help on the set at HSN that helps me make sure that I grab the right charts at the right time. There's a limitation to what I can do well, and we've now encountered it. But as we see here on Cholesterol, this is sort of the basics of Cholesterol. Plant sterols, like those in Cholesterol, have long been clinically established and now FDA approved to help reduce the risk of heart disease by reducing total and LDL cholesterol levels. And not out by a little, far more potent than oat bran or oatmeal. The natural plant sterols present in Cholesterol safely reduce both total and LDL cholesterol levels and do so without any risks or any side effects. The ingredient is actually abundantly present in the healthiest foods, and all we do is we concentrate it for delivery in a small, easy-to-swallow capsule. Healthy diets, when combined with plant sterols, have the capacity to lower LDL cholesterol by 28 to 35%. And mind you, if you increase legumes, nuts, seeds, increase your fiber intake, that really breathes life into what plant sterols can do for your total and LDL cholesterol. Cholesterol structure is almost identical to cholesterol. But what's different about it, that tiny little difference, and I have a chart, I think, here that might have the molecule itself. Here. There you go. So if you look at Cholesterol, that's that shape up there, it looks like a puzzle of some kind. That's cholesterol. That's the key molecule in cholesterol. If you look at the molecule directly below it, that's cholesterol. The only difference is this little bright red extension there. That little bright red extension there makes cholesterol virtually non-absorbable by your body. And because of that, it then blocks the absorption of cholesterol. And bile salts, which are made by cholesterol in your body, it also blocks the reabsorption of bile salts. So even if you never eat cholesterol will still lower your total and LDL cholesterol levels. So the science is well established on why it works, how it works, that it does it completely safely, and that it can make an enormous difference, and it works perfectly with cholesterol-lowering drugs. You only take one capsule with each of your meals or your 2 largest meals. That's all you need to do. And today, with this Today Special, the large 1,000 capsule size, it's a fraction of the cost of when I introduced it. It's less than a dime a capsule. And most people just probably think, how could taking one of these little capsules with each meal lower my cholesterol 15 or 20%, lower my LDL 15 or 20%? It does. That's the science. And it can lower your cholesterol even more than that if you combine it with great dietary changes. It can become practically as potent as those cholesterol-lowering drugs, which are very potent and very effective. So this is an opportunity to make a difference, because those cholesterol-lowering drugs, they come with a long list of side effects. Once you start them, you're generally taking them for the rest of your life. So this is an opportunity to make a difference naturally. As I often describe with many of my products, the tools are there. Mother Nature delivers them to us, and it's really a question of whether we listen to her or not. And this is an opportunity to make a difference, even if you don't have extremely high levels of cholesterol or LDL cholesterol. When we lower our levels even slightly, say if our LDL was 100 or 110 or 120, if we could lower them by 10, 15, 20%, there's a proportionate reduction in risk of heart disease, and that's desirable for all of us.
Andrew, I don't want to jump the gun, but there's a review next to me that really caught my eye. Can I just read this one to everybody?
Please, please, yes.
It's entitled Amazing Results. Listen to this. My cholesterol was 270 in February. With diet and exercise, it went up to 272 in April. I started taking CholesteCare, and now my cholesterol is 214. I'm taking 2 a day with dinner, and my cholesterol went down almost 60 points. My doctor just kept saying, very impressive, very impressive. I also ordered Choco Nouveau. When I felt like having chocolate after dinner, I would eat one of those. They are delicious and satisfy a craving for something sweet after dinner. I will never stop taking these products, and I will tell all of my friends that are currently on statin drugs. I'll do 2 other quick ones while we're here. Working for me, my cholesterol was always pretty good and not a problem. My cholesterol went to 240 after surgery, and I was prescribed medicine from that surgery. My doctors wanted me on a statin. I asked for some time to see with diet if it would make a difference. I immediately looked at what vitamins Mr. Lessman offered and purchased these. I just visited my doctor after blood work last week, and my cholesterol dropped to 187 from 240. My bad cholesterol dropped 50 points as well. No statins for me. I couldn't be happier. Thank you very much. Oh, and this is my first review ever on HSN. Andrew, you rock. I mean, Andrew, these reviews, to say they're powerful is an understatement, but look how thorough they are. I mean, these are incredible results, and obviously individual results will vary, but it's always exciting to read something like that.
Well, individual results will vary, but mind you that this ingredient is approved by the Food and Drug Administration to help us in this area, not because it's an ingredient that doesn't work. The only reason, because when it comes to plant sterols and cholesterol reduction, you can bet that the folks who make those statin drugs were not terribly thrilled when the Food and Drug Administration decided to approve this ingredient to help reduce the risk of heart disease by lowering total and LDL cholesterol, and all these other governmental bodies and health organizations that also recognize it for the powerful benefits it delivers. It works, and it's something that all it requires is 1 capsule to be taken with each meal, and what it does is it blocks the absorption of cholesterol, or it blocks the reabsorption of bile up to 40%. And that delivers substantial benefits to your net cholesterol level or your LDL, your harmful cholesterol, your bad cholesterol. So it's a great opportunity if you choose to take advantage of it. Anyone, as I say, anyone who's taking a statin drug that doesn't add this is missing an opportunity, either to lower their cholesterol even more, or to significantly reduce the levels of statin they're taking, because they could achieve that same goal using less medication, because the benefits of plant sterols, the benefits of CholesteCare are additive. They don't replace each other, the statin drug and CholesteCare, entirely different mechanisms. Statin drugs work as something that's called an HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. Basically, they inhibit an enzyme. They inhibit the mevalonate pathway in your liver that synthesizes cholesterol. So those drugs reduce the synthesis of cholesterol. The way CholesteCare works is by reducing the absorption of cholesterol and reducing the reabsorption of bile salts. So whether you're taking one or not, each one works independently to deliver their maximum benefits independently. So if you're taking any of those medications, CholesteCare is a wonderful addition. And as I said, be sure to show it to your doctor. Let your doctor know you're partnering with he or she to let you know that they're not delivering those benefits to you on their own.
It's been 2 years since it was a today's special. If you're able to order before midnight, you're getting the best price of the year for sure. All the way up to 1,000 caps. You saw me empty that out. That's going to keep you going, that's for sure. $99.90. Big savings if you're able to order today. We've started with Secure Meal Replacement, our primary today's special. Of course, CholesteCare, so important. But one of the today's special that is available, and you know, if you're not getting enough fiber in your diet, and let's be honest, most of us are not, we're not happy. We're not happy whether it's regularity, constipation issues. This is a product unlike any other in the market. This is a fiber product that you won't hate. And a lot of fiber products out there, Andrew, people simply don't like them, which is why we don't take them.
Well, and most of the fiber products that you see in beverages are not natural fiber. They're a synthetic processed fiber, because fiber is not going to create these wonderful, soluble, clear solutions. That's not how fiber works. Fiber is more akin to sawdust. That's fiber. So the fiber in our capsules and ultrafine powder, it's designed to be ultra mild. It delivers high levels of water-soluble fiber and bulk fiber as well. But the reason why we're talking about it as a Today Special today is not because of its incredible benefits for regularity, not because of its benefits as basically food for your friendly flora, because we have to keep our friendly flora happy, and the fiber is what the friendly flora nourish themselves with. The reason why we're talking about it today, because as much as Cholesterol blocks the absorption of cholesterol, blocks the reabsorption of bile salts, what fiber does is then grabs the cholesterol, grabs the bile salts, and acts as sort of a sponge and a broom, helping it exit your body. And just like the Cholesterol, both of these products are an ultrafine powder, because they cannot deliver their benefits unless they're immediately available to your digestive system. How can something mix with your digestive contents and block the absorption of cholesterol or bile salts if it's locked up in some rock-hard tablet? The same for fiber. So our fiber is an ultrafine powder in a capsule that immediately liberates it to do its work. And again, if you take a capsule of Cholesterol with a meal and you take a couple of capsules with fiber mucil at the same time, all you did was enhance the benefits, the cholesterol reduction you're going to get from Cholesterol, also enhance your regularity, also enhance the health and the nourishment of your microbiome, your friendly flora. So it's just an all-around positive, beneficial thing to do.
It's such a ripple effect. When you're getting the right amount of fiber every day, everything seems to run more smoothly. If you'd like to order 60 caps all the way through to 1,000 caps, $69.90, even on that largest size. Best pricing of the year. If you'd like to order fiber mucil, it's available by calling us on the toll-free number or by going to hsn.com. You know, we're featuring a lot of products tonight, but Andrew has an amazing assortment. If you go to hsn.com, search Lessman or vitamins, and everything will appear before you. There's a lot of good things there, a lot of good stuff to discover. Talking of something to discover, it was many years ago, Mr. Andrew Lessman really brought CoQ10 to the forefront here in the United States of America. It's gone on to be one of the all-time biggest sellers for sure. There is no other coenzyme Q10 product out there in the market that is the way this is, that is as comprehensive and as powerful, as potent as what we have on offer tonight. Talk about supporting energy and our immune system, and quite honestly, every other system as well. This is something that allows you to feel the difference. It gives you that sustained energy and sense of well-being. And Andrew, I always love listening to the story on this. I'm always proud to share this with you, that really you started the conversation. It was one voice that then became many voices, and now CoQ10, one of the biggest selling supplements in America.
When I first introduced CoQ10, the company in Japan that was making it, the only source, was not really shipping CoQ10 for other than research purposes. And of course, I wanted to put it in my initial supplements, but the quantity that I needed, because I was a teeny tiny little company, was smaller than they normally would provide. So I had to talk them into sending me a small, basically laboratory sample for our initial products. And our initial formulas delivered 30 milligrams of CoQ10 per day. That was at that time considered a high level, 30 milligrams. That was 1984. So now that's what, 37 years ago? It's hard to believe this is an ingredient that really has become popular relatively recently. It's hard to believe that if you've been following my company, you've been enjoying the benefits of coenzyme Q10 for 37 years. And when it comes to, say, a cholesterol-lowering drug, statin drug, they happen to be the worst in this regard. But most medications interfere with the synthesis of CoQ10 in your body. The only reason CoQ10 isn't the most important vitamin, more important than B12 or vitamin D or vitamin C, the only reason it isn't the most important vitamin is because technically it's not a vitamin, because your body can make a small amount of it. But that very small amount of it that your body can make is compromised by virtually every medication we take. In particular, statin drugs that lower cholesterol. Those statin drugs directly affect the synthesis of CoQ10. And if you want to reduce the likelihood of side effects from those statin drugs, simply take CoQ10. And anyone who's taking a statin drug, absolutely positively, any cardiologist should probably or would be recommending that you take CoQ10 at the same time you're taking that statin drug, of course. But and of course, talk to your doctors about that, but it's just the basic science. But also antidepressants, also antihypertensives, things like beta blockers, also medications for osteoporosis, osteopenia, bisphosphonates. These all interfere. These are very popular drugs, obviously. These all interfere with the synthesis of CoQ10 in our body, which, when you interfere with the synthesis of CoQ10, you're interfering with the synthesis of the most important molecule for energy production in your body. So it's no wonder that those medications are associated with one of the most common side effects, fatigue. So if you want to give your body the most important opportunity or tool for energy synthesis, and as I often say, the most common sense approach to an energy supplement, we have trillions of cells in our body. Each one of them is responsible for their own energy. They can't rely on their neighbor. Each one must independently produce their own energy.